Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jennifer Fortin, and I am the 2013-2014 president of the Assabet Valley Regional Technical High School chapter of the National Honor Society. It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you all to the 40th annual induction ceremony to celebrate the addition of our new members to this distinguished chapter of the National Honor Society. I would first like to acknowledge and congratulate all of our inductees, their families, and loved ones who are here to celebrate this special honor. It is also with great pleasure that we recognize the members of our school leadership who are in attendance this evening. A special thank you to Mr. Patrick Collins, Superintendent Director, Mr. Mark Hollick, Principal, Mr. Gerald Gahagan, Assistant Principal and Dean of Students, Mr. Russell Mangson, Director of Technical Programs, Mr. Robert McCann, Director of Academic Programs, and Mr. Patrick O'Rourke, Assistant Principal and Dean of Students. We are here tonight with the singular purpose to acknowledge the dedication that these new inductees possess in the areas of character, scholarship, leadership, and service, and add them to the illustrious ranks of the members that have come before them. At this time, would everyone please stand as I present the 2014 induction class of the Assabet Valley Regional Technical High School National Honor Society. You all may sit down now. Thank you. When I was a sophomore, I was inducted into the National Honor Society and quickly became involved. Halfway through my junior year, I was asked to become the new NHS secretary, and this year, my senior year, I took on the role of president. With new advisors and a whole new group of students, I took the opportunity to change things around a little bit and focus a little more on establishing a more active membership with a deeper commitment to the society and service. All members signed a contract at the beginning of the school year agreeing to devote their time to NHS and to individually get 10 hours of community service by the end of the year. Our first service project was volunteering at a benefit for a man named Jeff Chapman, and NHS members worked through the cold, raining morning to help set up for the event. There, we also organized a packaged food for the people attending and handed that out to them. 4 hours of that was enough to wear us out, but we were happy to volunteer our time to ultimately help the fundraiser and meet some cool people along the way. NHS members also helped Assabet break down and move parts of the library and various other rooms at the school for the renovation project just before Thanksgiving break. A few of our members also volunteered for the Salvation Army and stood outside of Stop and Shop in Hudson on a cold December afternoon, collecting money in the kettle and ringing that famous bell to get people's attention. One of the most exciting services that we performed so far this year was to adopt a child from the Aztec Wishes that Business Tech runs every year around Christmas time. We ended up buying the boy a brand new winter jacket along with winter gloves and a hat. He also received a sweatshirt and Matchbox cars and trucks. The NHS members were very excited when the leadership board initially brought up this idea to buy gifts for a child, and hopefully we made that boy very happy Christmas morning when he woke up and opened his presents. And I believe that got everybody in the holiday spirit from the simple act of kindness as well. All of these events gave members the ability to work their way to the 10 hours of community service. One of my goals this year was to provide service opportunities for members, and we continue to look for other ways to assist the community. The National Honor Society also held multiple fundraisers so far this year. Our annual half day, where NHS members sold stickers at lunch, enabled students to wear a hat, to school on that Friday at the end of the week. This fundraiser was successful, and we plan on doing another one soon. A fundraiser that we held in December was during the Assabet Valley Exhibit Night, and NHS set up a table and sold baked goods to raise money for the Aztec wishes I previously mentioned. We sold cookies, cupcakes, and various other treats and raised around $130. My time as president of the National Honor Society has not been easy in the least. Although it has been stressful and overwhelming at times, I am very glad that I took on this role, and I believe I have developed my leadership skills through this experience. I have an incredible leadership team and advisors who help me create a successful society that I am very proud to lead. The National Honor Society embraces 4 characteristics or pillars that serve as the foundation of our organization. The lighting of the candles is an integral mainstay in the induction ceremony for the new members, and it is at this time that we highlight and acknowledge each of these characteristics. I would now like to introduce the first of our student speakers in the lighting of the candle ceremony, who will be speaking on the pillar of character, National Honor Society member and member of the class of 2015, Mr. Matthew Silva.
Thank you, Jen. Hello, my name is Matthew Silva, and as a member of the National Honor Society, I'm here to speak about character. John Wooden once said, "The true test of a man's character is what he does when no one is watching." Throughout high school, students are faced with pressures of being watched by everyone around them, whether it be their teachers, peers, and even sports members and fellow club members. However, when students go home, they are away from the prying eyes of the public, and their true character shines through. Some may decide that the pressure of school is too much and decide to shrug off their responsibilities. Some may decide that they have more important priorities, such as hanging out with friends. And yet, there are some who are determined to be something more than the average student. When these students go home, they don't worry about what their friends are doing without them that night. They don't think about what could be on TV or what could be happening on any social media. When these kids go home, they are focused on one thing, their success. They don't need to be badgered by their parents to do their homework. They take out their planner and do their assignments on their own. They don't need to be chased down by their parents and teachers about makeup tests and assignments. They track down teachers themselves and strive to earn the grades they deserve. These students are independent, driven young adults with an eye on their future. These students refuse to fade to the background of high school and instead choose to rise up to the top, often working through the night to complete their assignments and projects. This hard work was not gone unnoticed, and I congratulate all of you for striving and achieving this honor. Being in your same position last year, I know the struggle and stress that school may provide, but your success is self-evident in proving yourself to be leading students of this school. All of you have something unique to contribute to the school, and I look forward to working together with you in the years to come. I know that you will all grow to be successful in whatever you may choose your profession to be, because with the characters that you uniquely possess, you will always exceed expectations. Congratulations, and may you never lose your strong character that has gotten you this far. Keep aiming higher, and you will reach new heights. Following the lighting of the character candle, I'd like to introduce our next student speaker, who will be discussing the pillar of scholarship, National Honor Society Treasurer, member of class 2015, Mr. Jason Kustan.
Thank you, Pat. Hello, my name is Jason Pusateri, and I will be presenting the Pillar of Scholarship. Scholars are people with the devotion, motivation, and a passion to learn. They take the initiative to get all the information they need to achieve their goals. Scholars need to drive to further advance themselves and propel them into a higher tier of learning. The devotion to bettering themselves is what sets them apart from everyone else. But they do not just want a higher learning for only themselves, but promote the motivation with others to strive for it. Scholars know what it takes to succeed, and their passion for learning is what drives their road to success. They do not fear failure, but learn from it in an attempt to give themselves a better chance at success. Their only limits to learning are the ones they give themselves. Our new inductees are all incredible scholars. They have devoted so much of their studies and are proud of what they have accomplished academically. I applaud you on what you have done as scholars since coming to Assabet Valley, and implore you to keep that passion for learning in your lives every day. Congratulations to you all. Following the lighting of the scholarship candle, I'd like to introduce our next student speaker, who will be discussing the Pillar of Leadership, National Honor Society member and member of the class of 2014, Ms. Kelly Donahue.
Thank you, Jason. Hello, tonight I will talk about the pillar of leadership and how important it is to be a leader. Being a captain of the varsity cheerleading team, I have learned that leaders are very important and are constantly being seen as role models. It's not about holding the most power, but what you do with that power and how you overcome obstacles. Leaders must be willing to take initiative and promote the change that they believe will be effective. One important quality of being a leader is being able to stand up for what they think is right and what they are passionate about. Leaders are willing to put themselves out there, start a new club, stand up to a bully, and take control. They show their peers an example of someone with good morals and good decision-making skills. Each and every one of the new inductees that we have here tonight have the skills that are needed to be a leader, and have shown these skills to not only their peers, but to their family members, teammates, and teachers. As you pursue your journey in the National Honor Society, remember to always be a positive influence on the people around you and continue to be a leader in your everyday lives. Congratulations to all of you. You deserve it. Following the lighting of the leadership candle, I would like to introduce our last student speaker who will be speaking on the Pillar of Service, National Honor Society member and member of the class of 2015, Ms. Madison Lapeer.
Thank you, Kelly. Service is defined as the action of helping or doing work for another. The ability to dedicate one's time to helping others is one of the greatest traits a person can withhold. The National Honor Society holds a high standard for its members in getting involved in the community by bettering our school and towns. These inductees have devoted their time to helping the community through organizations like the Principal's Leadership Team and Student Council. NHS also offers numerous community service projects throughout the year, such as ringing bells for the Salvation Army at local grocery stores, volunteering at the Jeff Chapman event, a fundraiser for a man with cancer, and helping with the administration moving books and furniture around Assabet to aid in the renovation process. The new inductees will become active service members in NHS, continuing the good work they have already done. Community service is such a rewarding experience, and these students have shown the importance of service in their lives. Being an avid participant in service adds to one's character and leadership abilities, two of the other crucial NHS pillars. Through service, these students can make a difference in our school and community, making them great candidates for the National Honor Society. Thank you and congratulations to all the new inductees. And now Ms. Meyer.
This evening, we all come together to honor great individual achievement in the areas of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Parents, tonight is about your children, those little intellectuals that you've seen grow into young men and women, preparing to lead their peers, either in the classroom, the boardroom, the workplace, or on the playing field. They are students, athletes, musicians, writers, poets, linguists, mentors, employees, and volunteers. One of the paramount aspects of this society holds its foundation in academics, that knowledgeable pursuit of enlightenment that these inductees seek day in and day out amongst the throngs of other students in these halls. Their achievement is admirable, and their membership is smiled upon. Together, we welcome the words of our very own academic guru, the Director of Academic Programs here at Assabet Valley, Mr. Robert McCann.
Thank you, Ms. Meyer. Guru, I appreciate that. I'll use it often. I'm going to try to be short and sweet. I'm a little bit under the weather. Does anybody here have a smartphone in the audience, or a phone with a clock on it? If you do, just go to the clock area and just put it at like 45 minutes. And when I'm close, just let me know. Speed it up for the second part of my speech. I want to thank you for having me tonight. I am honored to be here. I want to thank Ms. Meyer and Ms. Cordier and Jen for putting this all together and all the hard work that goes into it. Especially want to thank you because I haven't been invited to anything in like a decade, so this is a big night for me. I wanted to start out my speech tonight with just letting you know that this is going to be a speech about, like there's two paths to take and you want to take the one less traveled or any kind of deep things like that. I'm simply just here to tell you, like I've done in the past, how impressed I am with all the people up here. How envious I am at times of the kids up here. When I was in high school, I didn't hit my stride until after high school when I was in college. And, I wish I hit it much earlier. I didn't have what these kids have. I was just too focused on getting up for Friday nights for football and basketball on Tuesday and Thursday nights. That's what kind of got me going. But, that's just a few days out of the year. These kids get up 180 days out of the year. Some days are better than others. But they wake up every morning and put their best foot forward and get grades that are truly impressive. So I really envy you for that, and I thank you for that. So that's what I'm kind of going to go with throughout the night. And to say one last thing before I get into the brunt of the speech, there's very few times where I feel underdressed at Assabet Valley, but I certainly do now because all the people up front here look excellent. We're a good group of young-looking people. By being impressed, another thing that comes up with the character and the scholarship and all these different things is, and Ms. Cordier reminded me of something that I had said in the past, is like, I'm a person that likes to get credit for all the things I do. I think I'm a good guy, but as Ms. Cordier pointed out in the past, I've said, if I do a load of laundry, then I'm not putting it away. I'm going to put it like right in the middle of my living space, so when my wife comes home, she sees that I did that. When I snow blow, which I have a lot of opportunities to do this year, in the past year, I kind of go by different houses that I do 2 or 3 times, so they can know that I'm the guy who did it. I'm the nice guy at the end of the street who snow blows. But the point I'm making here is that, I want that credit. And a lot of kids up here, they just do things because they're kind and they're great kids. And they expect nothing in return. They just do it for Assabet. They do it for the community. They just say yes because it's the right thing to do. I didn't always have that. I don't know if I have it now. I'd like to get credit, but these kids certainly do all those things, and I thank you for it. Many of them mentioned several different times in the first speeches that, they came up here and helped the administration and the people of our school with the moves that happened. There were some colossal moves that happened with our renovation project, but they expected nothing. They just come and do it, and they've been doing that for 2, 3, 4 years. You have them in their homes. I don't know if they're as good in their homes as they are here, but they're excellent here when we have them. So I appreciate them for that. I want to thank you, too, for all these kids up here who make my job an extremely exciting job, make the teachers who work here an extremely exciting job. And the reason why I say that is you can go to a website, look in the program studies of any other vocational schools in this state, and you will not find as many advanced placement programs that we offer. You won't see all the AP programs and all the pre-engineering programs and all the honors programs and the virtual high school programs, but we can't run those things unless it's like kids right here that will take those classes. I've talked to kids who have 2, 3, 4 advanced placement classes. That just blows my mind. And they do well in all those kinds of things. So again, another thing that I'm impressed by. Thank you for making my job easier, exciting, that I can look into more programs that are robust that you might only see in comprehensive high schools and high schools that just do 4 years of academics and not vocational programs, that I know we can bring them in here. And we'll have kids that can go through that process and do well with them and get themselves ready for whatever they want to move ahead to. In the coming year, this is my first year as Director of Academics. I was formerly the Director of Curriculum. I'd like to try to lean on some of the students up here. I had a good opportunity when we went away to Costa Rica last month to talk to some seniors on that trip about, possible programs for the future. And what can we bring in here? And, the best things come from the students up here and the teachers. So I'll lean on some of these kids, and I'll have them come in and meet with me and say, what can we bring in? What are some of the things we can do? Because these are the kids who've changed the people in the community's minds about Assabet and all the wonderful things we do here is because of the kids up here. So again, something else I appreciate. In closing, I'll say this, and this is really, where I really start to break out the violin. I have a young son who I've mentioned several different times, he's 2.5, and my wife and I often, as we do, kind of ogle over your son and things of that nature, but we both work here. And we know a lot of these kids that are up here, and we know how well they do and a lot of different things in their lives. And we say, hey, I hope little Rob grows up to be like this one, or as smart as this one, or does this or that and the other thing. So there's really nothing I can say. I can tell you I'm impressed. I'm envious of all the things that you do. But when I tell you that I have a 2.5-year-old son, and I hope that he grows up to be like some of you, I hope that means something to you. Everything you're doing is great. I appreciate it, and thank you for making my job every day very exciting. So thank you for having me tonight. Congratulations to everybody here. It's not easy, being a smart kid. Like you get an A+ and nobody gives you a big tackle or a hug or spikes the football, but you get up and do it every day. And I'm truly impressed by all the things that you do. Thank you very much for having me on behalf of our administration. I hope you have a great night after. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abigail Walsh, Vice President of the Assabet Valley National Honor Society and member of the class of 2015.
Good evening. My name is Megan Hollick, Secretary of the Assabet Valley National Honor Society and member of the class of 2014. This evening, we honor the new inductees to the Assabet Valley National Honor Society. As our tradition, the current membership collects quotes from teachers and faculty from around the building to bring a special individual honor to each of the new inductees. Tonight, Abby and I will present each new member to be inducted by reading their personal message. Leah Ambrosino. Mrs. Harper shared, Leah is a very talented, creative, focused, and thoughtful person. Leah can be found at her internship at Westboro TV Filming, producing and editing programming content that enlightens and entertains the local community. She is a talented designer, videographer, actress, musician, and singer. I have no doubt that Leah will change the world. Adam Rowe. Ms. Conrad shared, Adam Rowe is a pleasure to have in class. He shows initiative, quiet confidence, and always comes to class prepared and ready to learn. He will be a great new member of the Assabet Valley National Honor Society. Spencer Candestrara. Mr. LaCroix shared, Spencer is a very personable individual and well-liked by students and staff. Spencer is always in a good mood and has the ability to make people feel comfortable in any situation. The National Honor Society will be a great addition to Spencer's already long list of great assets and accomplishments.
Carly Pusateri. Mr. Larkin said, Carly is fiercely intelligent. She is my catalyst for spirited discussion in English class. Carly's passion and focus are infectious. She is that rare individual who makes those around her better. Lauren Quinn. Mr. Silk said, Lauren is a profound thinker who often makes class a more intellectual experience for all. I thoroughly enjoyed having Lauren in class because of her honest writing and academic prowess. Amy Saunders. Mrs. Regan said, Amy is a leader both in and out of shop. I have seen her grow into a mature and empathetic individual. She is kind-hearted and shows this in the way she treats her residents. I am so proud of Amy for being inducted into the National Honor Society.
Jacob Silvalskis. Mrs. Silvera shared, sometimes Jake doesn't know how capable a student he really is. Even sending warnings with his assignments that this is the worst paper ever written, but he gets a high mark. This modesty, his great sense of humor, and his creativity all combined with his solid academic skills to make him a pleasure to have as a student and classmate. Matthew Vavruska. Miss Conrad shared, Matt is a good student who works hard in chemistry class. He is the type of student that embodies the National Honor Society characteristics and will be an asset to the organization here at Assabet Valley. Gabriella DaCosta. Ms. Kramer shared that Gabriella is a student who goes above and beyond both inside and outside of the classroom. Her bubbly personality, perseverance, and commitment to both school and community go beyond the expectations of any high school student.
Zachary Grinnell. Mr. May said, Zach has always shown pride in his work and assignments in design and visual. Zach is respectful of his peers and staff at Assabet Valley. Zach is a good team player. Christopher Lazarus. Mr. Snyder said, if math class were a perpetual Jeopardy game, Chris Lazarus would be the winner on most days. He would be the first to ring in and would always be correct. Chris would be an impressive contestant. Mitchell Lutz. Mr. Quinn said, Mitch is a very likable, hardworking student who is also very conscientious about his work. He is able to maintain a successful level of academic performance while also managing to participate in both our football and baseball programs. A model of the successful student athlete, Mitch Lutz is truly worthy of this induction to Assabet's chapter of the National Honor Society.
Abigail Mason. Mr. Sweeney shared, Abigail came to me as a freshman last year. I was immediately impressed with Abigail's diligence when it came to work in and outside of the classroom. Throughout the year, Abigail proved herself to not only be a superior student, but a friendly, funny, and caring person. Abigail has continued to impress me this year in my advanced placement class with her hard work and intellectual curiosity. Alex McMahon. Mrs. Forehand said, I have known Alex for 2 years. He is a fantastic, talented young man with so much potential. He is motivated and smart, and I know that someday he will be a great scientist who will probably have tremendous impact in the field of science. He is the one you can always count on and a pleasure to have in class. All my best to a great kid. Jason Montero. Mr. Ryla shared, Jason Montero is a self-paced learner at the top of his electrical wiring class. He is always motivated to accept the next challenge. It's not luck, but solid preparation that moves him forward. Jennifer Moore. Miss Stencil said, Jennifer Moore is one of the most outstanding, hardworking, and enthusiastic students that she's had. This year, her science fair project won first place at the Assabet Valley Biotech Science Fair. This is the first year that a sophomore student has taken first prize.
Shirley Pagan Figueroa. Mr. Quinn said, Shirley is extremely deserving of her induction into Assabet's National Honor Society chapter. With her easygoing demeanor, her ability to grasp difficult concepts, and her creativity, Shirley makes every class better just by being in it. Katrina Pusateri. Miss Gloria said, Katrina is the life of the party in our Honors U.S. History 2 class. Always brimming over with energy and enthusiasm. She keeps things lively. Taylor Ross. Mrs. Forehand said, I have known Taylor for 2 years. She is a hardworking, motivated young lady who is consistently positive and helpful. She is organized and competent and will be a tremendous asset to the health field. I know if I ever needed care in a hospital, it would be assuring to have Taylor as my nurse. All my best to a great kid.
At this time, would all the new inductees please stand and repeat after me? I pledge to uphold the high standards of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, character, and citizenship. At this time, I would like to introduce National Honor Society member and member of the class of 2014, Mr. Wyatt Doyle, to begin the presentation of the National Honor Society Honorary Inductee Award.
Thank you, Mrs. Coder. Good evening. My name is Wyatt Doyle, and I'm a senior member of the Assabet Valley chapter of the National Honor Society. Each year, our chapter chooses a faculty member to receive the National Honor Society Honorary Member Award and speak to new members on the night of their induction. The selection process begins during our bi-weekly meetings, when members are allowed to nominate different staff and members to receive the award. Once nominations have been collected, the group takes a vote, and the final decision is based on the majority of the votes. I have the honor of presenting this award to an outstanding member of the Assabet community. This faculty member works in the Social Skills Instructional Center and as a substitute teacher. My experience with this teacher comes from the many times he has substituted in my classes. I've had the privilege of enjoying his sense of humor and benefiting from his store of life lessons. One experience with this teacher really stands out to me above all the rest. A few months ago, my English teacher was out for the day, and I had this teacher as a substitute. Our assignment for the day was to have a class discussion. As we carried out our discussion, this teacher watched and listened, and just took in our conversation. When we finished, he told us how much faith he has in our generation, and how his interactions with students every day make that faith grow stronger. He told us how young people today give him hope. These words truly made an impact on me. It's really inspiring to know that there's an authority figure out there who possesses such a strong belief in the potential of our generation, and that our contributions to our community do not go unnoticed. Without further ado, I am pleased to announce this year's recipient of the Assabet Valley NHS Honorary Member Award, Mr. James Diamantopoulos.
Wow. But I want to tell you something. This is your night, and I'm so proud of all of you, because I really don't know you. Because I see you around school, and I tell bad jokes here and there. We got the okay from Mr. Gahagan today, and said, listen, remember, these kids are smart, no bad jokes today. And of course, when I first found this out, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a harassment thing. So I saw Mr. Hollick come into the school, as I do in the mornings, to file an unofficial complaint most days. And I said, Mr. Hollick, listen, I'm shocked. I think there's something going on here. These people asked me to speak. I think there's a mistake. There's other Mr. B's here. I think they got the wrong one. And I'm shocked. And you know what he said to me? He goes, I am too. And then I go home, and I tell my lovely bride of nearly 40 years who came tonight to make sure I didn't mess up. And I said, honey, they asked me to do this thing. It's amazing. I'm flattered. I still am. And I go, maybe I should tell them that in 1968, when we went to high school together, I got inducted to the Honor Society. And she reminded me, yeah, you did, but don't you remember that I used to help you with your homework? And the standards were a lot lower back then. I think we only had 2 pillars. But seriously, guys, this is a very, very special night. It's a very special night. And I just can't say enough about Assabet. I taught 35 years at Algonquin. I retired and I came here 5 years ago. And it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Because of the warmness, the kind of school, the education is second to none. I only wish that our 4 children had come here. I see it every day. I see the love. I see the embracing of different things that kids get. And you guys, it goes to show what kids can do when you're taught the right stuff and you're supported. But I did write a few notes, and I will be probably a little shorter than Coach McCann's speech. And he's very easy to notice because he weighs more than I do. But he does have a handsome son. I see him in the parking lot, and I talk to him, and I tried to give him instruction, like I did you guys, to make sure that he makes it all the way to Assabet someday. I'll be here, Rob. Seriously, guys, character is something that is parts of a person's behavior and attitudes that make up a person's personality. These people here tonight that are here supporting you have helped you with your personality. Because those two things, heredity and environment, you've got great heredity here, okay? And you make sure you thank them when we leave. And also, you're in a great environment. It's a vibrant place here. And you know what, when I am not having students in the SSIC because Mr. Gahagan's not doing his job, or the Irish Mafia over Mr. O'Rourke, the new member, is not getting it done, I remind them, because Mr. Collins has allowed me to write an addendum to their evaluations every year on how many kids they send them. Thank you for that privilege, Mr. Collins. But character traits are often described as adjectives: hardworking, patient, faithful, supportive. The old expression that actions speak louder than words is so true. Anybody that's a parent here understands that. I had to give up swearing when my kids were born. My wife doesn't swear; she's back here. You know, she taught me those things, and a Don or a G or something like that. But I want to tell you that even if you're not the best student, you can still prove you have assault to a scholarship committee by focusing on your internships and work experience. After all, many scholarships that you guys will qualify for, they want someone who's not afraid of commitment. You showed it by getting here tonight. Your responsibility, your initiative taken, has been demonstrated. As through his recommendations and the nice words from your faculty members who don't give those out free. Some of the examples of character that I admire that you displayed, I saw, honesty, your loyalty to Assabet and your friends, your kindness, you're sincere, you're devoted, and you're ambitious. And one of my favorite qualities that all of you have, you're happy kids. I see it in your faces when I walk the halls and I touch you and I look at you with my eyes and say, hey, how you doing, whatever, and it's always a positive thing. It's so great to see. But continue with that, and your community service, which I was also impressed with, comes a little saying that from a Chinese proverb that I found that I kind of really makes a lot of sense, and I'll share this with you. If you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. But if you want happiness for a lifetime, help somebody. And I say this to some of you, you don't know how good you make the teachers here feel, the administration, and myself. Every day, you have the opportunity to learn and experience something and someone new. Don't let a day go by. Don't let it go by. Seize the opportunity, learn and experience everything you can, and use it to change the world. Because you have that power. You've excelled here. You've accomplished things. You've exceeded standards. And also, as far as your leadership, through academics, work, and volunteerism, it should be the leadership that you can do. You could be an extrovert like me. You could be an introvert, and you can be a quiet person. Because remember, actions speak louder than words. And you can lead that way. And there are going to be times when things aren't going your way. And it's going to be easy to fall off the beaten path that you created for your success. And I think it's important to be afraid. An old phrase my mother, who's passed many years ago, who said, Jim, don't be afraid to walk alone at times. Because you have the character, you have the qualities to succeed. You will do it if you stay on that path and keep focused. Building your own self-respect and doing what's right will contribute to your self-esteem. A lot of people think self-esteem is something that's given or caught. It's something that you've earned. And it comes from two things. Your self-confidence, which you got here academically, your tech programs around the school. You don't forget, you guys have done all of this, which I'm still shocked. Right? Everywhere I go, you've done this in half the time that students at other high schools. Half the time. Because you spend the other time in your tech program, which is outstanding skill building and education. Which so many times your passion. Whether you decide you go, you have more opportunities after high school leaving Assabet than you do at a regular comprehensive high school. Now, my wife may not like that because she teaches at Wachusett. But my son, Lee, is a guidance counselor at Shrewsbury High. And we have this debate around the dinner table at different holidays. Because I'm always bragging about you guys. I'm always bragging about you. And I believe that in my heart. Be assertive. Now, assertive is good without being rude. That's something I had to work on in my coaching days. It's often mistaken that we're assertive in our behavior, in some way being aggressive. Assertiveness does not accompany a guarantee of getting what you desire, or does it bring satisfaction of trying our level best, or trying our level the best that we wished. Be aware of the message received and the message sent. Because a lot of times in today's world, there are good examples of that, where we may joke a kid, and you see the body language of someone, and you know it's not right. Don't be afraid to go over and say, hey, when you step over that line of assertiveness or aggressiveness, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Are you okay? Something like that. I know you guys have done that. I think your growth will continue with your strong foundation here at Assabet, if you let it. And one of the biggest things is a positive attitude that you all display. Thinking positive, after a while, you can fake your friends out and your teachers by being positive. You guys didn't need that kind of emotional intelligence because you have so much other talent. But it does help in a long way getting cohesiveness, getting people together to build a team. Team building happens with a positive attitude. And you know what happens after a while? You fake yourself out. You're a pretty happy person. As I'm a living example. In closing, I would just like you to leave a little bit more wisdom here that I think it's all about here. The purpose of this organization is to create enthusiasm for learning and scholarship, as we're all proud of you. Has stimulated your desire to give service, to take care of those who maybe need help. And that's ultimately how we're all judged. And it's promoted leadership in all of you. And boy, is your character shown in your actions. And there's 5 simple rules to staying happy. Free your heart from hatred. Remember, there aren't people as talented as you. Keep that open mind. Accept differences. You don't have to worry about a lot of things, because a lot of things come into two kinds of problems. There are problems you can fix and problems you can't fix. As long as I don't have any problems I can't fix, I'm okay. The annoying things. My phone broke. I dropped it. The internet's down. Yeah, we'll get it tomorrow. You know, people will understand, your teachers will understand, because they know how much you guys care about who you are, and how good you want to be. Live simply. Don't get caught up in gadgets and things excessively. Because the best things in life aren't things. Give more and expect less from others sometimes, especially recognition. Do it for who you are. Because when you look in that mirror, you'll love who you see. So many of you now realize how lucky we are to be here at Assabet, getting a great education. Achieving success is so impressive because of your attitude, your personal discipline, your teachers, your family and friends here tonight, and your success. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for being such great Aztecs. And God bless you. Bless the Lord.
All of our members have proven that they are determined to succeed through their exceptional effort and dedication as scholars, leaders, through their service and their character. You have all shown that you are students who are not willing to settle for the mediocre or the ordinary. We thank you all for your hard work and are excited to begin working with you. On behalf of the Assabet Valley Regional Technical High School, chapter of the National Honor Society, I would like to thank all of our guests for coming this evening and sharing in on our induction ceremony. Following the reception of the inductees, everyone is invited to a reception in the hallway outside of the Epicurean room. Thank you again and congratulations to all of our new inductees.
Yes.